Brand new edition of Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. We are in the midst of football season here. Everybody chasing the Cueva Bears. No surprise, they're off to a great start, and we are very happy to have Mason Posa back in the studio. Second appearance.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yeah.
Man,
yes,
you
sir.
must be big time. Such a weird dichotomy because, like, on the field, you are like you're just wrecking everybody every week. And then when we're here in the studio, you're just like the coolest dude, right? Like you don't look mean, you don't. I mean, it's just. Mm-hmm. But on Friday, man, you're just having some fun this year out there. Talk about that.
You know, I mean, it's just a mindset. You know, just I'm humble off the field. You know, I'm nice. You know, but when I get on the field, you know, I flip a switch. You know, I'm mean, and I don't care how you feel. I don't care who you are. I'm gonna kill you. You know, that's the.
All right, and you guys kind of. I mean. Yeah, obviously you went into last season as quote-unquote one of the favorites, right? Mm-hmm. But, I mean, this year it's fair to say that everyone's kind of just, you read the paper, you hear about it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, everyone's talking La Cueva. So how tough is that to just keep your head down and go about your business?
You know, it's hard for a lot of people. You know, a lot of our teammates, you know, a lot of us have been, like, cocky, you know, in practice, not trying, you know. But, I mean, our motto is just don't listen to the noise, as always, you know. I mean, last year, I mean, we still had noise, but it was mainly Cleveland. But, I mean, this year, I mean, we have 3 D1 kids. You know, we have a lot of our receivers coming back, all of our linebackers coming back. Our D-line is looking really good, you know, and it's just, we kind of just need to, like, throw that in the back of our head, you know. I mean, we just got to go out there and play ball. And
what is it that Coach backs in the paper at the beginning of the season? What is nobody cares, get better?
Yeah.
That is the most coach back thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, he says that every day after practice, after lift, you know. I mean, nobody cares that we were state champs last year. Nobody does. But I mean, we just got to put our head down and just keep working every day.
And is it kind of, who's the leadership? What's the leadership like on that team? Do you have to corral guys and say, hey, nobody, like Coach says, nobody cares, let's just keep getting better? I would imagine you're one of those dudes.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, you know, like me, Cam, you know, Mark Handy, Nick, you know, Jackson Smith. We all just really try to, like, push each other, and especially the guys around us, for sure, you know, in the weight room. We lift after practice, you know, and sometimes people feel tired, but, I mean, we get on them, and we tell them, we got to work, we got to keep working, because, I mean, this state title is not just going to, like, give it or hand it to us, you know.
Right. Now, also, I mean, I'm sure there's times during camp and even during the season where some of the toughest competition you guys are seeing is probably when you guys are going against the ones at practice, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So talk about that. I mean, how do you guys use each other to stay sharp?
You know, it's competitive. You know, me and Cam, we're constantly at each other, you know, constantly hitting each other pretty hard, talking crap, all of that, you know, and even our DBs, you know, Logan Sparks and Tanner Montano, they go at it all the time in practice. I mean, it's a good environment, you know. That's what I wanted, you know. That's what we all want, is we just want to push each other, like, more, you know, and just us knowing that, like, both sides of the ball are pretty good, you know. We're going to do really good in this season.
And, I mean, that is a La Cueva thing. It's a special place, right? Mm-hmm. And when you get over 100 kids coming out for football, you can start to build something that is special, that is obviously, which is what you guys have done, mm-hmm. right? But just talk about that, just how special of a program it is and how competitive. And, you know, because I think it's easy to take that for granted, but mm-hmm. it's not like that everywhere, where you have that many bodies out there and you have that high level of excellence and you guys hold each other to high standard. Talk about that a little bit.
You know, I feel like it's a lot of our coaching staff, you know. I mean, they do a great job just in, like, planting that mentality on us, like, our freshman year, you know. But, I mean, also, I feel like La Cueva's always been known for, you know, those caliber players, those D1 players, you know. And I just feel like a lot of kids want to go to La Cueva and represent that. And, and I think kids in middle school think, hey, if I go to La Cueva, that might give me a good chance to get scouted. That's what helped me a little bit, Connor O'Toole going to Utah. Utah hit me up, they're like, we recruited a guy from La Cueva as well. And I was like, yeah, yes, sir. And I was like, you better than him? And I was like, of course I am. I got to say I'm better than Connor O'Toole. But, Connor O'Toole, I think him a lot, I trained with him a lot, and just he's a really good guy, but yeah.
All right, let's go into this whole process of recruiting, because obviously we see the end result on your chest, right, which is the W for Wisconsin. But I want to get to that. I want to give the Badgers plenty of attention kind of maybe in the next segment, but I want to talk about the entire process, and I don't think people realize, I honestly didn't realize some of this until I was talking to your dad a little bit on game nights and talking to Coach Back a little bit on game. But literally last season, it was Friday night game, and then you were on a bus or on an airplane or in the car to make a trip. Like, I can pretty much remember it being every week, right?
It was.
So talk about that.
It was crazy, I think Texas Tech, after our game, we drove straight there. And it was just, I went to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was terrible. But, the experience is like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm super blessed. I thank God every day for it. But, it was a lot. And, I went on 17 recruiting trips. And a lot of recruits, they don't do that, But, I got to thank my parents for all of that.
Yeah, because, that's the other side of it, too, right? Like, that's... That doesn't happen if you don't have the resources, right? Like, if you don't have not only the money, of course, but also I'm sure Dad was the driver on a lot of those trips.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, no, a lot of it was playing too, but it was back and forth. My mom has a picture of me and my dad both like sleeping in the stadium because it was just a red-eyed flight. We went from Farmington and then we drove back down and we got home at like 12 o'clock, I should say, 1 o'clock, and then we had to wake up at 3 to catch our flight at 5, and then we'd show up there, and, we'd be energized, but then when we sit down just for a little bit, we were just, like, holding like that, exactly, yeah.
Was there a single game last year during the season where you were home for the weekend?
Ooh, I think that was 2 playoff games, I think, or Cleveland and Rio Rancho, I was home, and Centennial. And then all the playoff games.
All right.
Yeah.
Traveling like that takes a wear on you mentally and on your body a little bit too, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I had a back issue. I still have it, but just got to play through it. But I had a back issue against Farmington in the quarterfinals, and I was rushing the passer, and I went to go clear my hands. Just my back just started spazzing out like crazy. And it happened at Oklahoma State. I was just walking around, and then the back spasmed, you know. But, it has a lot of wear and tear on my body.
Take a break here. When we get back, I want to talk about some of those trips and kind of, talk about the way you whittled it down to a short list, and then we'll eventually get to your final decision. But we'll be right back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Back with Mason Posa here. We were just talking about the grind of all these recruiting trips, like how busy. 17, you put a number on it before we went to break. So what was the process of whittling it down to, well, how did you decide even where you were going to go visit?
Well, I mean, for me, it was just ranking each experience I had, every game day experience, you know, just Washington, that was amazing. You know, Romo Dunze, Michael Pennick, you know, that was electric.
Right.
Wisconsin, electric. You know, I set the bar with Wisconsin and Washington, you know, and I just really like all the other games I went to go visit, and just the way I was treated on those recruiting trips. I would just see, like, do these guys want me as bad as these other schools, you know, and all that. But,
and so what are some of those things now? I mean, because the recruiting game now is just like, it's pretty wild, right?
Yeah, it's wild.
So what are some of these things that these schools are offering you when they're there, like as far as just tour, you know, what are they doing to kind of try to convince the young athlete to pick them?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously it's just really a facility tour. You know,
Right.
I mean, that's amazing. I love those. Those are so fun. Then I talk to coaches, head coaches, you know, linebacker coach, defensive coordinator, and then I'll just go around the town, just see like what I do, you know, just day to day. You know, I go see my dorm if I were to go there or not, and usually take pics. I used to take pics, but now NCAA made a rule that you can only take pics on OVs. So like a lot of the schools, I took pictures in the uniforms and stuff like that.
Right.
But I mean, they'd take me out to dinner, but I mean, we'd pay for it and all that.
Yeah.
Because
I saw earlier in the year, Michigan released some pictures of their new $18 million locker room that included a bowling alley, a golf simulator, and a barbershop.
Yeah, I'd go crazy on the golf simulator.
Right? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So what are some of the facilities wise? What are some of the ones that really stuck out facilities wise?
Wow, I gotta really go back and think. I love Texas A&M's facilities.
Okay.
Those were sick. You know, just the game room. You know, just the hangout. They had PS5s. You know, just pool tables, a theater. You know, it was pretty cool, and it was right underneath the stadium.
Right.
And I liked Arizona's locker room. That was pretty neat. And a lot of the coaches, they'd show me like future stuff, you know, stuff that come
plans.
in. Yeah.
Drawings.
2025 locker room and stuff like that. Like Wisconsin, they're building a whole new indoor facility and all that. Texas Tech, they were showing me the new facilities they just built. And yeah, that's really it.
What about, okay, so that's facility wise. What about game day atmosphere? What are some of the ones that really stuck out for game day atmosphere?
My favorite game I went to was Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma Bedlam.
Okay.
That was nuts.
Different, right? Like,
Different.
I mean, it's
It
different,
was just,
right?
yeah, rivalry, last one, you know. I got to rush the field. I took the goal post out. It was pretty cool. Oregon and Utah, that game day, that was really fun. But, I mean, Oregon, you know, they did their job. But, I mean, Utah, their fan base is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
What about, I mean, Camp Randall's pretty pretty intense.
Camp Randall, it's...
Right? Talk about that.
I mean, I went to the Rutgers game, you know, and it's just...
Slump buster.
Yeah. But, I mean, still, the jump around, that was amazing to watch, you know.
You see that on TV and you're like, this is unreal.
Oh, yeah.
What's that like in person?
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, you can feel, like, the seats shaking and everything. And I can't even imagine, like, Ohio State, Oregon, you know, those type of games. Because, I mean, I feel like that stadium and that atmosphere is probably the best out of all of them. If I like just all the games combined, I mean like Oklahoma State, that was a good game because it was Oklahoma, But if
Right.
you go on to like a different game like Central Florida UCF, it's probably not as electrifying, But I mean, I think Camp Randall is definitely one of the best.
And then also, I mean, obviously you got to go to school at these places. So, what are some of the campus life, campus tour, that kind of thing? What are which ones really stood out there? Where you're like, okay, that's a cool campus.
Wisconsin, that really stuck because I mean it's right in downtown, and downtown Madison is beautiful, and also the campus is like so Madison's in between two giant lakes, and it's just. You can see the water wherever you go, and it's just beautiful. And I mean, I love the water. That's probably the thing no one really knows is that I love the water, and I wanted to be like somewhere around the water. And Wisconsin was one of those choices. But yeah.
All right, so kind of take us into your process a little bit. Did you narrow it down to what, a Final Four, a Final Two? What did the last couple of days look like?
Yeah. So last couple of days, I worked with this guy. His name's Mike Schaefer. He helped me with my recruiting. Helped me get my name out there. Thank you, Mike, if you're watching this. But I mean, he helped me a lot. And he's like, Mason, you got to get these top 3 schools like done now. You got to call these other schools and tell them you're not interested. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
I hated that.
And how did you whittle it down?
I mean, 3 schools I really wanted to be at. I feel like I could play at big time ball. I could play in the SEC, the Big Ten, and that kind of really helped me narrow down, like, just eliminate all the Big 12 schools, because I really saw myself playing in the Big Ten or SEC, because I feel like I can play that ball.
Well, what was the Final 3?
Final 3 was Oregon, Wisconsin, and Texas A&M.
Let me ask you, as a Pac-12 fan myself, did that influence a decision? Would that influence your decision, the fact that the conference was going away and all that uncertainty around the conference?
I mean, no, not really, because I mean, I knew the schools that I was really looking at for the Pac-12, they were going to Big Ten.
Right.
So I was fine with it.
All right, so then how did you go from 3 to the big 1?
So my plan was to take all 3 official visits. I had Oregon and A&M. But I mean, Wisconsin, they did such a great job. They made me commit on the spot, and it's just, those visits were just like where I felt at home. Which coaching staff adores me, and just which coaching staff is going to make me feel like I'm a part of a family. Because I'm miles away from mine, So
Let me ask you this: from an Oregon perspective, obviously, they can really turn it on, overkill, right? With the Nike and all that.
Yeah.
Is there a part of that almost is too much? Or as an athlete, do you enjoy that? Or do you like, oh wow, this is a little much?
I mean, I loved it. I like that Nike stuff is so sick.
Right.
Super cool. The shoes they get, they talked to me about like what the players do for NIL. I mean, they set up their players really nice for NIL, but I felt like, they really looked in the transfer portal a lot.
Right.
And that's what I didn't really like, So, I mean, it was kind of like an easy, just like, I don't know,
Right.
I mean, that's one bad thing about Oregon is that I'm constantly looking over my shoulder to see if they bring in a new guy. I mean, I know they're going to bring someone from younger than me, but I mean, just transfer-wise.
What about, I mean, Wisconsin sends a lot of players to the next level, especially in that side of the ball.
Yeah.
Did that kind of influence that decision? Do you want to play on Sundays, and the fact that Wisconsin does send a lot of guys to the league on that side of the ball, how did that affect your decision?
I mean, it affected a lot, 100%. It was just, that's linebacker U, or arguably linebacker U, I mean, TJ Watt, all those guys. Right. It's a crazy establishment of defensive players. And my goal is to be a first-round draft pick, And they were telling me, Mason, you can do it here. We're known for defense. Every NFL scout in America, comes and looks at our defense. They're projected to have 12 guys in the NFL draft on defense alone this year, which is crazy. And I just feel like, that was a spot. I mean, that's where I want to play on. That's a place that can get me to play on Sundays.
See yourself being in a cheesehead on Sundays? Stay local there?
Yeah,
in
maybe,
Lambeau?
you know. But also Broncos, that's my team.
Oh, well, you know.
Yeah.
They'll definitely have a higher draft pick than the Packers. That's for sure. You know, well, one last question before we go to break. Okay, a lot of people were asking me, hey, where do you think he's going to go? I was like, I don't know. You know, but I did always say, I thought, if a school were to tell him you could mess around and wrestle for a year or a semester, I think they could steal his heart. Is there a school that could have stole your heart if they would have said, hey, you could wrestle for a year?
I mean, I wasn't even offered by either, but Penn State wrestling, that just...
Right.
I told my dad, I was like, Dad, if Penn State offers me a wrestling scholarship, I'll drop football and I'll wrestle for Penn State. But, I mean, I knew that would never happen.
Right.
But Oklahoma State and Arizona State threw that at me. You know, I was interested, but it's so hard doing two sports in college, you know. But, I mean, I just really wanted to stick with football.
All right, take a break. Come back with more right after this.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We're back with Mason Posa. We do a top 5 list on this program. I feel like we know a lot about you already, right? Second appearance and all. But top 5 things we don't know about Mason Posa. Number 5.
Number 5. Okay. I didn't think I was going to rank them, but I'll rank them right now.
All right.
I hate pickles.
You hate pickles.
Pickles are disgusting.
Right. I think you mentioned that on the last
Did
program.
I?
Did you? I don't remember. Did we do a top 5 list?
No, I don't think we did.
No?
I
Okay.
think you did it after I...
Okay, then someone
Yeah.
else doesn't like pickles either, other than you. Okay, because I remember that. Number 4.
Number 4, I'm a huge Lego guy.
Okay, all right.
I like building Legos. Like my mom puts little Lego stockings, and I just build it for fun.
All right. Like,
Yeah.
do you have some pretty complex Lego things at your house?
Oh no, just like my girlfriend, she got me like a big car, and it's in my drawer.
Okay.
Yeah, but no.
I was a
not
Lego
really.
guy growing up, for sure, yeah. All right. Number 3.
Number 3, I love golfing.
Okay, all right. How good are you?
I'm terrible.
Perfect.
Nick
We need to
Mertz.
go-
Nick
we need to go.
Mertz is super good.
Well, then that's not for me.
Nick Mertz is super good.
Because I'm at the also not good level. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can. It's either if I have a good driving, then I'll have a terrible short. But if I have a good short, then I'll have a terrible driving.
All right. Have you played with Coach Back?
No, I don't think he wants to play with me.
He's not that good either.
No, I don't
So it
think
might be perfect,
Yeah, it might be.
right? Now, you know who the best... Now, Coach Pineda is pretty good.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Coach Back...
I heard Coach Orell's too, the basketball
well,
coach.
He's the golf coach,
Yeah,
too. So
I'd hope he-
right?
yeah.
I would hope so. But Coach Pineda's pretty good. So, but Coach Back would be probably on our level more. So we
Yeah.
could, all right, number 2, things we don't know about you.
I'm not really a hot dog or burger fan.
Okay.
I can't. I don't know. I mean, some burgers I have to have like bacon and mayo and just like lettuce, tomato, but like all the American cheese and stuff like that, I'm not really.
That could be a problem in Wisconsin
It could,
because,
yeah.
like, there's a couple of places around the legendary Lambeau Field there that are famous for their butter burgers, right? There's a Kroll's East and a Kroll's West, and then of course the whole cheese curds thing.
Those are so good.
Yeah, okay.
Those are so good.
Because I was thinking after the program, we're gonna set something up. Like, I'll mail you chili, you mail me cheese curds.
All right, sounds good.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I like mozzarella cheese.
Because you can't get real cheese curds like here, only like
no.
at the fair.
Yeah.
But but real Wisconsin cheese curds, like that's different. All right. Number one thing we don't know about you.
I'm a huge soccer nerd.
All right.
Huge, like professional, like all that. I mean, I play FIFA all the time, but I mean, my team's Barcelona, and I can tell you like stats about like a lot of the players and just Messi.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Messi fan.
Talk about how they're not. They don't play by the financial rules, do they, at Barcelona?
No,
that's more
Real Madrid. That's more Real Madrid.
I don't think so. Did you know our director, Jason Pohl, was a multiple-time state champion soccer player?
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
At El Dorado.
Ooh, never mind then.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Barcelona's your team. Did you ever play soccer?
Yeah, I played soccer until 4th or 5th grade, I think, and then I quit for baseball. Worst decision of my life. I wish I kept playing soccer, but.
So, how much of that do you get to keep up with during your busy time?
A lot. My girlfriend plays soccer. She has actually a game tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna go catch, but yeah, I play soccer with her all the time.
So, are you Team Messi or Team Ronaldo?
Messi, 100%.
Okay.
It's not even like Messi's so much better.
Best striker in the game right now?
Best strike probably Holland or Kylian Mbappe.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, those are, who's really good? Lamine Yamal. He's like 17 years old.
Right.
He's a freak.
What about World Cup time? You get into that pretty big?
Yeah, I have an Argentinian flag. Well, my mom's Argentinian, so I have a flag and a jersey and all that in my room.
Okay. Best international team. Next World Cup coming up. Who do you think is going to be the favorite there?
I think if Messi plays, I think it will be Argentina.
Okay, that's
But
not going to happen.
I don't know. I mean, they're stacked.
So in reality, all right,
In reality, I think either Spain or France. Spain or France.
Well, Mason, it's been nice being friends with you, but we can't be friends anymore because I'm German.
Oh.
And yeah.
My dad's Spaniard, so.
So yeah, so France, Italy, those teams, we don't really like them.
Yeah.
Right? So obviously it'd be nice to win one more on the way out, right? Let's end on that. What's the focus the rest of the way? I mean, obviously you guys have a bunch of D1 guys. You're all ready to play at the next level, but it'd be pretty special to win one on the way out, right? Talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the dream. That's the goal. I mean, that's what we think about every day. I mean, it's just, that's how we have to end it. I mean, there's no perfect way. We have to end it on a state title, and I feel like our entire team knows that. I mean, that's my personal goal. I want to finish with 6 state titles in my high school career. And, I mean, I feel like we really have a good shot this year, and we just got to get better and just keep working hard.
I feel like you should come back one more time with all 6, right? Right
Yes,
before
sir.
you leave for Camp Randall.
Yes, sir.
And also, has there been talks about, is this the best La Cueva team of all time? Because La Cueva is pretty tradition-rich.
Yeah, I mean, that 04 team only allowing 14 points. I mean, I think if we shut down Pinnacle, we're going to have a really good shot in doing that.
All right. Well, good luck. I think we're out of time, right, Jay? Yeah. All right. Well, Mason, it's always nice to catch up, man. It has been just so fun to watch you go from, freshman wrecking everybody to the most recruited guy in New Mexico. And you have kept a level head and a humbleness about you that makes you just so fun to root for.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming in.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for watching, everybody. Good night.